That door was also a little breeze. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः ॐ mask. Yeah. The Bhagavad Gita is a moksha shastra, not a karma shastra. This we have to really understand. Moksha shastra means a treatise that is unfolding the truth of oneself as free from pains, sorrows, and afflictions. This is what we call moksha, freedom from all and any kinds of difficulties. Difficulties, anartha vratan visharati. Visharati means that body of knowledge that disintegrates all the difficulties. So all the difficulties are disintegrated, they are as good as not there. And why are they as good as not there? They are as good as not there primarily because one has had a inner revolution of one's vision as that which is free of all division. A vision without division. That is Advaita Vedanta. Usually what happens, there is a division. There is a lot of division, there is a lot of duality, there is so much confusion. And so therefore the Bhagavad Gita's vision is in keeping with the Upanishad. And the Upanishad is defined as that which takes away samsara, that which takes away, of course this is all about everyday, that which takes away the everyday pains and sorrows completely. Bhaya nivritti, shoka nivritti. Bhaya nivritti means takes care of the fear. Shoka nivritti takes care of sorrow. These are the two ways in which the Upanishad operates. So anartha vratan visharati. That is what the Bhagavad Gita does. It takes away all kinds of, it disintegrates the sorrow. One sheds the sorrow. Visharati means that's what it makes you shed the sorrow. That is why it is called Upanishad. And if you are American, Upanishad, okay? Because it makes you shed all the sorrow, shed the conflict, shed the fear, shed the pain. shed the uncertainty, the doubt centered on I, shed the division between within oneself, first of all. Because the battle of Kurukshetra is not out there, somewhere outskirts of Delhi. It didn't happen. That is why the Bhagavad Gita is so timeless. The battle of Kurukshetra is right here, right in the heart, where dharma and adharma are there constantly fighting, like the battle between the devas and the asuras. Yeah, that's what it is. Asuras don't think, they have these big canine teeth and mustaches and horrible looking. That's just for the comics, for children. Asuras, we have to take the derived meaning. Vyutpatti. What is the meaning? Asushu ramante. They have this, they ramante, they revel in everything that is to do with the here and now. No other goal in life except bhoga, enjoyment. No other goal in life. Join us, please come. There is a chair for it. So no other thing in life except bhoga. This is what it is. So everybody who is wanting just bhoga is an asura, according to the Bhagavad Gita. And so the battle is an inward battle. And then because of that inward battle, everything is fraught. The outside world, so to speak, the world that I relate to, is fraught because it is painted by this inward battle. This inner battle paints my projection, puts a projection to the outside world. And the Bhagavan made world, the created world, is not what I deal with. Oh, what am I dealing with? I'm dealing with my own personal world, which is eclipsing the created world. That is what the problem is. That is why there is pain and sorrow. So, in order to remove the pain and the sorrow of what we call samsara, it has to, we don't have to take a cudgel and go at Ishvara Srishti in order to remove the pain and sorrow and create oneness. What does one have to do? One has to destroy this Rahu, the eclipse within. The eclipse of subjectivity, that is what we'll be talking about. The eclipse of subjectivity, one's own subjective notions about what the world is, affects one's day-to-day life, affects one's plans, ambitions, goals in life, and finally it also affects the receptivity to the knowledge, because one is already having so many notions about oneself. No, I can't be Bhagavan. This is just, it sounds good, but I'm not really Bhagavan. How is this possible? So if such a person who is convinced of that comes and sits in a Bhagavad Gita class, what will happen? There nothing will happen. That's the idea. Nothing will happen. And therefore, this subjectivity needs to be shed. That is why the Bhagavad Gita is a moksha shastra, because it is an Upanishad. It makes you shed all kinds of wrong notions. 9/10 of the knowledge is this shedding, removal of what we call ajnana. Atma ajnanam means self-ignorance, which has two components. Oh, really? Self-ignorance also has two parts, part A and part B. Yes. What is part A? I don't know who I am. Fair enough. How will I know? I don't know. I haven't been taught. I don't know how. I don't know what to do. I don't know, what I am. And the Upanishad somewhere says, and maybe a folk song in India says, you are one with the whole, you are everything. But that doesn't really mean anything, because I don't know who I am. This is part A. And here, the uh, human beings and the animals are the same. The dog, for example, doesn't know itself. It also has Atma Ajnanam. It doesn't think, oh, there is a spelling mistake in my name. It should be God, but it is Dog. It doesn't. It doesn't think like that. It doesn't think like that at all. Ah, it's happy being what it is, so long as it is not ill-treated, abused, beaten. Seems to be happy. In some countries, they kill it for food, and so long as it's not doing that, it is happy. Same thing with the cow, especially a cow born in Gujarat. Yeah, very lucky cow because they have senior homes for cows in Gujarat. Ah, you know that. Yeah. So it's they have senior center for cows, not just human beings. Because the cows are seen as very, very sacred to the culture, and so they are not slaughtered, they are allowed to live their lives. And so, if a cow doesn't end up between two slices of bread, it is happy, it is fine. Ajnana. This one also. Who? The Jiva. Jiva means who? Full of peeves. Pet peeves, complaints. Better to call it Piva. Okay. So this Jiva also has lots of, the fully Atma Ajnanam. Doesn't know who I am. Same thing. Samana. This is part A. But when we look at the Pashus, somehow we get envious. They seem to be happier than we are. The dog will sleep anywhere, and even if the owner kicks it one day in anger, next day it comes running back with a tail wagging. The tail is wagging the dog, okay? Yeah, because it's wagging very fast. It comes, and it seems to be okay. The human being doesn't seem to be okay. Both have ajnanam. What is the difference? This is very interesting. Because the human being has part B of Atma Ajnanam. Part A, we can call it Agrahanam, Swarupa Agrahanam, not understanding my nature. Agrahanam, not grasping. Swarupa Agrahanam, part A. There'll be a quiz, okay, at satsang time, so listen carefully. Some people actually got petrified. So, so part A. And then what else is there? Then the animals and the human beings both have part A. Animals don't have part B, which is anyatha grahanam. Anyatha grahanam means I take myself to be what I am not. The dog doesn't do that, the cat doesn't do that, the cow doesn't do that. They don't do that. Only we do that. That is our privilege. Why? Because there is free will. The one is, Bhagavan, when Bhagavan made the jiva, in the form of a human being, gave it complete freedom, uninhibited consciousness, awareness of oneself, awareness of others, awareness of everything, uninhibited. Whereas in the animals, that awareness is there, but it is kind of programmed, it is inhibited. They have some awareness. When a big dog, what is that? That in the movies we see the dog that has some whiskey on the neck, a little thing. What is that called? It goes in the snow and gets the people. Bernard, Saint Bernard. Yeah, huge dog. It has a little flask of whiskey or some kind of brandy or something, so that when it rescues the people in the snow who have come in an avalanche, they can warm themselves up. It is actually medicinal. So huge dog. And then we have another variety of dog that lives in a purse. Okay. There is a special purse you can buy in America for these kinds of dogs. What is that called? Chihuahua. Yeah. Some kind of Chinese variety, I think. So, tiny dog, small. So, if this Saint Bernard, huge, 200 pounds, maybe sometimes. Huge dog. 100 pounds, 200 pounds. If this and the, meets the Chihuahua, it's not going to take it for a cat. It knows it's a dog. Ah, it knows it's a dog. It's not going to think it's a cat. But it does want to show off. It says woof. Rrr. And then what does the Chihuahua do? First, it goes inside the purse. Tells the owner, zip me up. Doesn't matter if I can't breathe, but this looks very big. But then from the safety of the purse and the owner's arms, it will come out and, oof, it will also say. It means the recognition of the species is there. Why? For the sake of propagation of the species, for the sake of reproduction, the recognition of the species is there. And then for the sake of predators, saving oneself from predators, the recognition of this is not a dog is also there. This is one of us, this is not one of us. And, and some wonderful things we can do this. Sometimes the dogs are very intelligent and can be trained. Somebody's house I went and they said, please bless the dog. And so I just was interacting with the dog, and the child in the house said, we have taught the dog how to spell. Oh, really? You taught the dog how to spell? And then its name I forgot. But they said, CAT. And it started to bark and go crazy and look for the cat all around the house. Recognition of the outsider. Recognition of things like oneself, things unlike oneself. This comprises the awareness of all animals, which is enough for them to lead their lives. That is why in Sanskritam, in the Shastra, the animals are called muktaha. They are already free. They are free. Why? Because they don't have free will. Oh, I thought free will makes us free. Not really. Free will makes you free enough to judge yourself. Free enough to have 1,001 complexes centered on the I. I don't know myself, ... Tasmat. Therefore, I think I'm an idiot. I know I am no good. I am an imposter. Many people feel like this. You have such a good job. You are great. You are wonderful. No, but somehow I feel like I don't know anything. I'm just kind of making it up and faking it and going along. So this imposter feeling is there. Very, very rampant in academia. Many people feel like this. Oh, I just think, everybody else knows more than me and I don't know enough. That's why I call it academia. So this is what it is. Everywhere there is this wherever you look, there is a complex. That's why somebody said the human being is a complex person, pun intended. Complex animal, complex, full of complexes, therefore complex, full of all kinds of complexes. Financially insecure, relationship wise insecure, children wise insecure, friend wise insecure, and otherwise also insecure. Every other which way you look, insecure. Pujya Swamiji, my guru, would always say, I can make a rich man poor in 2 minutes. How, Swamiji, how? The richest man in the universe, you bring him to me, I can make him poor. How? I will ask for a donation, he would say. The ashram is building one more wing for people to stay because we are growing. And then can you please give because I know you are owning so many industries. And what will the person say? Swamiji, inflation. Swamiji, I don't have. I don't know how to give. I don't have. I don't have doesn't mean I don't have. Yeah. I don't have means I don't have to give it to you. That is what it is. But still, when the person says, I don't have, there is a sense of poverty. Ah. So financially insecure, every which way you look at it, insecure. That is, that is the human being. Insecurity means I don't accept myself. Insecurity and non acceptance are the greatest of friends. They love each other and they nurture one another. The more the insecurity, it tells its best friend, BFF, it tells its best friend what? You know? Yeah, your insecurity tells its best friend that, you know what? You are not enough. You are not okay. And that one also tells insecurity you are not okay. Somebody wrote a book, I am okay, you are okay. Yeah. And these two here, I am not okay, therefore you are also not okay. That is the new title of this book. Very sad. And why is this? Because the will is free, free enough to make a mistake centered on the I. Oh, but I wish I was a cow. Don't say that. Don't say that. Why not? You just said that they seem to be having a better life than I. I did say that. But that is all in the short term. The free will comes, the totally free will, uninhibited, unprogrammed free will comes with not just a curse of having complexes centered on the self, it comes with a blessing. And what is that blessing? I have the ability to seek and to desire this knowledge that the animals don't have. So, therefore, the free will, if we look at it properly, it's a greatest privilege. It's the greatest privilege. Coming here, I saw a lot of cows. Some of them were even blocking the road. They were doing a sit in. Okay, we saw a lot of cows. Supposing I had stopped the car and said, come on, we are having a retreat. And then called Bhimaji and said, we are having two more guests. They only eat grass, macro diet, something like that, raw food. If I had said that, would I have been able to convince them to come? That's why they are not here. Okay, they're not here. I cannot convince them to come because there is that impetus to know oneself, to get rid of the mistake is not there. Mask, you have to wear a mask. Yeah. So the impetus to get rid of this mistake is not there. In the animals. Only agrahanam. Anyatha grahanam is not there. This is the subject matter of Mandukya Upanishad, something which is very advanced. And they talk about it, at the end of the studies. Towards the end, the Mandukya is taught. But here, you are all so receptive. I'm talking about it in the first session itself because I feel like I'm getting through. So therefore, it is like even this mistake centered on the I is like many other mistakes that we make. Purushaha eva sthanoho. This is one, ancient mistake. What is this mistake? Somebody moved into a new house, unfamiliar. And the movers came and unpacked everything. And so she went to the bedroom and saw how the view looks like. And then she saw one man standing there. Just there were some trees and there was this man standing there. It was twilight. Man was standing there. Then she thought, oh, maybe the movers are packing up. So once the truck goes, he will also go. Then the truck went, everything went. It was darker still. And then again she saw the man standing there. She said, oh no, I have to call the police. Calls the police. Police came and shone the flashlight, shined the light on the man, which was a stump of a tree with two branches like this. Sthano means stump of the tree. Mistake. Correct? Why? Because that the stump of the because that which it was not recognized properly at all. It is not complete non-recognition. Because if supposing it was pitch dark and the stump of the tree was not seen at all because it is pitch dark, then can you make a mistake? No. The stump of the tree is called adhisthana, the locus here of the error. So you can't make a mistake on an unknown tree and mistake it to be the man, unknown stump, and mistake it for a human being with a threatening attitude like this, the two branches and twigs coming out like this. And suppose you see it during the daytime. Will you make a mistake? No. Why won't you make a mistake? Because you know it to be the tree. You know it to be a stump. Similarly, on a known adhisthana, a mistake cannot be made. On a known adhisthana, no mistake possible. On an unknown adhisthana, no mistake possible. Then where is the mistake happening? Partially known locus, partially known adhisthana. That's why all these examples, whether it is of the stump being mistaken for a man, or what other example do we have in Vedanta? Rope snake. Or the rope snake. All these examples take place at twilight. I thought, why twilight? Oh, are we setting some ambience? No, no, no. It's not about ambience. It's to show that you see something lying in the grass. It has three bends. And let us say it's a frayed rope. So it looks like this at the top. Rope is not frayed, you are frayed, okay? You are frayed of the rope. But here, the rope is frayed, it looks like, what is that? The split tongue of the cobra. And then you see that at twilight. And then the snake is born. Where is the snake born? Yeah, it's born in the head. A heady snake. Why? Because of your fears, you get ahead of yourself. That's why it is a snake in the head, not a snake in the grass. The snake in the head joins whatever the object lying here, there, which becomes a convenient sitting duck for that projection. So the snake in the head joins, as it were, the rope. That's why in Sanskrit, my friends, it is called aropa. Yeah. You see, rope and aropa, say, very similar. Maybe the sages who Panini, etc., who had something to do with the Sanskrit language knew that some day English will come and rope, the word rope will come. So for better pratipatti, understanding, it is aropa, meaning on the rope. You are projecting the snake which is not there at all. A non-present snake is projected on the present rope because of not non-understanding, don't say that, because of partial understanding. Partial understanding. So the non-existent snake is superimposed, so to speak, upon the rope. And what do you see? Snake, eek, run away. Then everybody has a smartphone these days. Smartphone means you have given your smartness to the phone. Okay, that's why it is called smartphone. It holds all your memory. Somebody said, I want to, I tried calling you and you didn't answer. So I said, what is your phone number? I'll call you. And they said, I don't know, I have to look it up. Smartphone is used to make calls, but it is used for so many different things. That's why you have to keep on updating, because the new functions. The next one will make coffee if you press a button and hold a cup underneath it. Next version in our lifetimes. So this is, this is the smartphone has a flashlight. So you take the flashlight and shine it from a distance, of course, from the safe distance of your house. You open the window and shine it on the object that caused you to run back into the house. When you shine the light, what is it? Rope. Where did the snake go? Huh? Did it slither away in the grass? No. Did the scaliness of the snake come and sit on the rope? No. In fact, the rope is completely free of any snakiness, any quality of snakiness. It is completely free. Then you can go to the garden and pick it up. Oh, this is just a rope. You know, once what happened? When I was in Coimbatore, there was one brahmachari long back. And in the ashram, we always do this snake, rope, rope, snake, rope, snake. And then, he was aware of this example. He was just walking nearby his room and he saw one rope. Again at twilight, he picked it up. It happened to be a garden snake. A different kind of aropa. Yeah. And so this is the mistake. Why? Because that snake in the head, where did it come from? It is part of the subjectivity, the package called subjectivity. What does this subjectivity comprise? The subjectivity comprises first and foremost raga and dvesha. Raga, strong preferences. This is what the Bhagavad Gita talks about a lot. Dvesha, strong prejudices. These make up the subjectivity. These make up the subjectivity. Strong preferences, strong prejudices. And they are there in the head. Oh, but I don't want them to be there. Too bad. The Bhagavad Gita says they are here. Sarvesham buddhau ragadveshau vyavasthitau. In every buddhi, in every intellect, raga and dvesha is the arrangement has been made. It is part of a law. Oh, so I can get angry. I can have lots of raga dveshas. This is nice because usually when we go to these retreats, people say, reduce your desires, eliminate your desires. Here, Bhagavan Krishna is saying, have as many desires as you want. Yes, but with a small caveat. What is that? You have to read the fine print, which is the next line. Tayor vasham na agachet tau hi asya paripanthinau. Do not come under their spell, O Arjuna. Have the raga and dveshas, but don't let them run you. Don't let them take you for a ride. Don't let them, you are driving the car. Let's say somebody hijacks carjacking, it is called. Carjacking is terrible because somebody opens the door and then what is that? Gets into the passenger seat. You are driving, they take care of the control. And then what? They kick you out of the moving car and they steal the car. This happens because of some karma. Okay. Yeah. This is what happens. Car trouble, carjacking means it's karma. Yeah. And besides, in America, where I speak quite a bit, they don't know how to say karma. I have bad karma, they say. So that's not, karma only when you have car problems. Okay. Otherwise, it is karma. So because of some karma vashat, some miscreant, stena, thief comes and then, I throws me out of the car. I roll down a, little wall, on the road and some little hilly place, and then I end up in a bed of nettles full of all kinds of thorns and bruises, scrapes and bruises. And then that fellow has gone off with the car. This is exactly what the desires do. if you let them sit in the driver's seat. If you let them sit in the driver's seat, they drive you insane. Your goals, your ambitions, your desires of what you really want to do ends up where? In a big ditch, along with your sanity. This is part of the picture of subjectivity. Raga and Dvesha. How did they get there? We already know. Bhagavat Srishti. Because supposing if you were to say, I don't want Raga and Dvesha, I want to be free of all Raga and Dvesha, then what would happen to the world? There would be no Adi Shankara. Because of some desire, he wrote all the Upanishad Bhashyas, Brahma Sutra Bhashya, Gita Bhashya. It would not be there. There would be no Adi Shankara, there would be no Vyasa. If there is no Vyasa, there is no Mahabharata. And Mahabharata is, Gita is part of Mahabharata, so there would be no Gita. And if there was no Gita, there would be no retreat because there would be no teachers. There would be no students. The desire to study would not be there. You all would not be here. I would not have the desire to teach. So I would not be here. So therefore what? Dharma aviruddha kamosmi. He Bharatarshabha. This is all from the Bhagavad Gita. Oh Arjuna, I am that desire which does not go against what is correct, what is right for me. That is dharma. That which upholds, from dhru to uphold everything. That which upholds this whole universe. That because of which the universe runs is not national laws or international laws. It is the basic law of dharma, which is the first purushartha. That's why it's called dharma, artha, kama, and then moksha. This is the purushartha, means sarvaihi purushaihi arthyate. That which is desired by all beings universally. This is what is called purushartha. And dharma is the first purushartha. And if somebody tells you, I don't particularly like to follow dharma, so I don't think this is right, that dharma should be the first purushartha, I'm not interested in following dharma. If somebody were to say that, you ask them, do you want other people to follow dharma? Oh, of course, yes. When I walk, I want them to open the door for me. When I drop something, I want them to pick it up for me. I want everybody to be nice to me. I don't want anybody to cheat me, to lie to me, to defraud me, to scare me. Everybody enjoys dharma when it is directed against towards oneself. This is what it is called dharma. That is why it is the first purushartha. But there is no way at all of ensuring that you will, that other people will follow dharma towards you unless you return the favor. If you want other people to be kind towards you, what do you have to do? You have to be kind towards them. Otherwise, why will they? If you are rude towards them and expect them to be kind towards you, they have to be a saint. And, and there is a Subhashita that says, Sadhavo nahi sarvatra, shaile na manikyam, mauktikam na gaje, sadhavo nahi sarvatra, chandanam na vane. There are not sadhus, are not everywhere. You don't, so the chances are you will find somebody who will react at you. So dharma becomes extremely important. And all this we'll be seeing in detail. So the subjectivity, the first source of this subjectivity is strong ragadveshas. Strong preferences, strong prejudices is the raw material of this khichdi. Oh, we are making khichdi, yes. We are finding out the khichdi inside the head. So the khichdi is some kind of rice, lentils, vegetable combination. So what is the khichdi? Ragadvesha is the first ingredient of this khichdi. Strong preferences, strong prejudices. which I, because of the free will, have the power to override, but I don't know how, so I haven't done anything about it. This is what the Asuri Sampatti and Daiva Sampatti chapter, 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita says. Because if one does not learn the art of managing one's desires, you don't control the desires, you manage them. You don't control the anger, you manage it. So if you haven't studied the art of managing the desires, what happens? They manage you. This is what the thing is. This is the first and primary component of one's subjectivity. Then what else is there? Some kind of samskara. What is samskara? Samskar or the other, okay, from the past. Samskara. Some kind of habits, some kind of impressions, etc. Early childhood, sometimes even previous life. Samskaras. And so these samskaras put an overlay of subjectivity so that one is not relating to oneself, the Jagat, other jivas, or Ishvara objectively. So this is the subjectivity that is called the Maya. This ragadveshas and how they operate is called Maya. This is why one sees a snake instead of the rope. And this is the drishtanta. If we take darshtanta, if we take what is exemplified here, we find that the rope is here Atma. I. Atma means I. Upon this Atma is projected various wrong impressions. I don't like myself, I don't love myself, etc. Where is that coming from? From the ragadveshas in the head. They are the ones responsible for these projections. There was always a joke that Pujya Swamiji would tell. He would say, in a room full of people, let's say there is a room full of men, you go and call out Rama, because it's a common name. There are so many Ramas, Venkat Rama, and what else? Rama Krishna, Sita Rama, and what, Raja Rama, all these things. Shapad Rama, all these things are there. So many Ramas, so little time. So it is quite possible that half of the room of men will look up. Oh, did you call me Rama? Everybody will look, half of the people will look up. Then you go back into the room again and say Krishna, another very common name in India. So many Krishnas. The other half of the men will look up. Then you go in the room the third time and say donkey. All of them will look up. That is what they were called, perhaps, unfortunately, by their friends who bullied them or by parents. Primary caregivers, here in this instance, primary scaregivers. Okay. And so this is what they were called. And this is how this is how the feeling is. Donkey, idiot, Mudha, deluded one. These are all, like pet names sometimes, unfortunately. And so one knows it like one's own name. And this is how the subjectivity is overlaid. It is cast like that over the understanding of oneself. So what does Gita do? It corrects this misunderstanding. Why? Because I don't like this misunderstanding. Are you happy thinking of yourself as sad? Universally, everybody will say no. Are you happy being afraid and in panic all the time? Everybody will say no. Are you happy with Atma Ajnanam? Absolutely not. I want it gone. I want it gone when? Just now. I can't wait for even a minute. I want it gone now. This is why Gita is Moksha Shastra. And it is important to say this because people take it people take the Bhagavad Gita to be a karma shastra. Karma shastra means what? It is all about what to do this, do that. Arjuna, get up and fight. Arjuna, wield this, wield that, get up, fight, do this, do that. This is not, even though it says that, it is not Karma Shastra. But then why does Arjuna tell, why is Arjuna told repeatedly by Bhagavan to get up and fight? Simply because they are in the middle of a battlefield and he is a Kshatriya, he signed up to fight. And before the teaching began, the conch shells, the shankhas were blown, declaring the war to have started. Everybody blew the conch shells. Everybody is, beat up the kettle drums. The call for war, the war had already started. And you can't just leave what you started. Therefore, fight. But why couldn't Arjuna leave what he started? Because he was not yet prepared. Why was he not prepared? We will see that in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you. Next class is in when? 11:15, right? Yeah.